Welcome back to Factorio Nullius on the October-November community map. So I have definitely run into chlorine issue, which has basically brought this to a stop, but this was quite a nice achievement last episode, so going to be useful in the future. So the problem is basically that I stopped using chlorine for making stuff, and a whole load of new recipes are using sodium hydroxide. It's changed the balance on that quite drastically. Now, as a result of that, I could actually start making acid again, and then I can use that acid once again to run these and do some mineral dust reprocessing as a way of getting rid of the chlorine and getting rid of the mineral dust, which by extension would mean getting rid of gravel and eventually stone. So that's all good things to do, to be honest. So what I'm going to think about is where to put it. I'm kind of tempted to do I think there's two steps to this basically, guys. Looking at my recipes, so I want to do the dust reprocessing up here because let's just find that again. Because this will turn gravel into sand, and that seems to be the best recipe I've found for gravel, basically to do something useful as slag reprocessing. But then once I've got the mineral dust, I can turn the mineral dust into sludge. And the only way I know to do that was this one, so the combine the mineral dust with the acid, which I can do. It actually gives me sludge, and then I found something useful to do with sludge, which could be interesting. The problem is it uses caustic solution, and therefore I'm somewhat... That's what makes me a bit unsure about it. So I want the crushed iron ore for sure, but here's the roundabout issue. So to make caustic solution I need sodium hydroxide, which means I get more chlorine. So does that work out overall? I'm not entirely sure. That one's complicated. Other options could be to use acid directly to turn it into sand and crushed iron ore. If you look at this, that's 200 to 8 or 200 to 4. It's a lot less iron ore out of that one. There's also apparently stone, which I don't see the point of because stone is something I seem to have too much of. Maybe stone becomes more important later on, I'm not really sure. Maybe a better option would be bauxite recovery. So that's using sulfuric acid, and basically sulfuric acid is something I have plenty of right now, so my general thoughts now is as long as all the acid I need can be made with a single pump, I don't really care. If I start needing multiple pumps, I'll think about it. But right now I have plenty of volcanic gas, which translates to plenty of acid. I actually have a tank of acid. Acid is here. And I'm not bother putting productivity in these. These are just old stuff because that's how efficient they've been. So I could upgrade that, give them productivity. I'll put productivity in those ones, but not those ones. Interesting. Anyway, so I could upgrade productivity with that some more to get more out of my pump. And as long as I'm just using one pump, I think I'm fine. So, the question of bauxite or iron is really the question. But as bauxite, if I'm doing the stone up here and I decide to do the mineral dust and everything up here, then everything's around here. And then the bauxite is just here, so that goes straight into aluminium production, and that's kind of like a nice tidy unit. Also, it looks like I built this the wrong way around. I should have built that way around. So that's actually going to help out with getting that sand out the way. So also I can merge the sand of this and to merge it with that. So if I do these around here, gravel's not too far away, it's just down there. Then the sand can go onto there, be porty merged, and that makes it all centralized. And then the mineral dust can... Well, I'll put the mineral dust somewhere. I'll have to think about that one. In fact, I wonder if I could put it here and use these beacons I've already got. So output there. Going to filter it so I have sand on just one side. Probably that side. And have I left myself enough space there? I also want to... Probably I can move that back one. Do something for that. I also want to make sure the sand is on both sides of the belt, if I can. Well, actually I could do this much more simply. I'm making it complicated again. So I know the sand is on the left-hand side. So, given that theory, if I know it's on the left-hand side, which is going to be the top side here, then I just need to move it onto the bottom side. So that would be that then. So I hope I can move all these over a bit, so that shouldn't be a problem, and then I'll put a second row of beacons in. So I believe that will look like that, and all I need to do is bring in the gravel. Also, thinking about that, I've probably got a lot of gravel just hanging around, so let's do input priority left, do that, and any gravel that's sat in the storage, I think I've deleted quite a bit of gravel off of belts and stuff like that. All that gravel can come over here and go in there. Where is the gravel? No, there it is. All the gravel can come over here and then it'll feed straight into those. Yeah, there actually isn't any. I'm sure I deleted some at some point. Maybe I've got another box somewhere. Anyway, so that gives me lots of gravel there, and I guess it's going to be the main consumption. Is anything down here actually using gravel? No, nothing there uses gravel for any actual purposes, because that's another input, isn't it? So what I can do is change the direction on that belt, and I don't think I'll have any issues because of that. Then once changed, gravel will go up that way. Don't think there's any particular reason to give either side priority, so it's just going to look like that. And let's start by getting these boxes out the way because they're kind of in the way there. I probably should just get rid of this aluminium setup here because this is using old recipes anyway. But I think for now I'm just going to do that, keep it as simple as I can. I just want to free myself, but I already moved it over, so we also want to put more stuff here because I also want to do the mineral dust processing. So a couple of flotation cells, so let's find that mineral dust. So I can actually use sulfuric acid, which I guess I could have done a long time ago because sulfuric acid is a resource I have excess of. Maybe I didn't have that at the time. Well, this is the one I was thinking of that uses up the chlorine, so that's what I'm going to go for now. Well, that's decidedly not beacon friendly, so what do I need? So I need one input belt actually, so input belt could go here. Then probably could work with beacon then, because I think the space for... I want it that way around. Be more easy to tile. So let's try and get that lined up with that one. So if that goes there like so, actually that's one tile over, isn't it? Yeah, this is going to be the issue, is what to do with this one. So let's figure that out in a second. Actually, I think I do have a solution for that. Let's do it this way around. So then that can do like that and underground its way out the way. In fact, let's do that, it's easier. But that leaves a space there for input inserter, input inserter. Then that can go there, that can go there. They can go like that, and I still have space for beacons over here. So that's almost certainly about as good as I'm going to get, and pretty simple solution. So mineral dust goes around there. CO2 I can dump into here. Actually already got the acid here, so that's convenient, and I've already got a sludge pipe there. Well, that is a very fast recipe. Let's put the better inserters on there and see if that works out. Actually, I should have probably put productivity on these. Just gives waste processing. I might as well get some extra output because CO2 will be reclaimed, or that's a tiny amount of CO2, but it will be reclaimed nonetheless, and sludge will be reclaimed soon as well. So I took a look around, and since I've already got sulfuric acid over here for the steel, I guess there's not really any problem with bringing it over for other stuff. I just need to get this pipe out here. So this is basically really near the bus anyway. Here's the bus, so I can put this on anywhere there's a gap. So I think that's a gap there. I think that's a gap. Yep, that one's unused. So sulfuric acid on the bus. I actually decided this is now kind of in the way, so I think the only thing this was doing was providing this over to the concrete, so I can always get that from this setup here. So with that, this can all go. If I need that ore, the ore can obviously just go into this, so that'd be good. If I need to expand it, I can expand it over here or rebuild it. The bus is basically going to end here anyway because it's got to the edge of the island, or... well, it's not really an island, is it? It's whatever this is. So this can go though, so let's just delete this whole thing. So that gets that all nicely moved out the way. So what do I actually need for this bauxite recovery? So sulfuric acid, sludge, and it's a flotation cell. So if I take some more of those, let's turn that back on. So let's see what I need. Bauxite recovery is that one. That's a lot of pipes. Well, hopefully I can get all these pipes to connect together happily. How fast is the recipe? Wow, 20 seconds. I actually need quite a few of these. Could expand up north. I'd have to move these belts yet again. I did finish moving them, so I'd rather not do that. So I'm just going to be on that side, so that could be a good place to start. So let's just flip those around. Let's see what I get. Going in the belt as well, so let's see. That can go like that, so that's going to do basically copying that pattern again because, well, it's beacons, you just copy the same patterns. Likewise for that. As I said, the only special thing is going to be probably this sulfuric acid, and probably the best pattern for that is going to be just to, yeah, if I put the beacons over here, basically just take it as far out the way as possible. So, like so, for now. So, got acid, should have built those one tile away, wasn't paying attention. So, got the acid, belt goes there. That's actually going to give me yet more sand, but fortunately I have a sand source here. So, if that goes up with the bauxite and the sand, like so, it can then be filtered. Take the sand. Might as well just feed the sand into there actually. It will go into that eventually. Change that to the other side in that case. So that can go there and that goes up, and I'm going to give it priority over the fresh bauxite. So if I can reach that, input priority on the right. Join those together and that should do that job fine. But I might need to extend this. I'll see. I'll get it working first. If I need to extend it, I can do that quickly. So sludge is actually going to come from here right now, and I'll merge in the rest of the sludge supply later. Sulfuric acid can come from the bus, and wastewater. Don't think I've got a wastewater thing on the bus, but I can put wastewater over this wastewater here. Oh, I'm actually regretting this already. I don't sulfur dioxide. Do I actually want sulfur dioxide? Not really. I could recycle the sulfur dioxide back into acid. So, water I've got around here, they can go together. So that's this output here actually. This one. Would have been nice to do that the opposite way around. Have that be the input. I think I can still do that, so if I just change this very slightly, still pretty much the same design. That could have gone basically anywhere, such as down there out the way. Then that can go, yeah, that's what I wanted. That can go there and there, which can link up with that and that. And then that can go over there. As for that, so if that connects to there, that connects to there. That can get past that pipe like that. If I tile this, I'll be able to put more undergrounds in there. Then the acid is going to come out there, and because this pipe is so much further back to the volcanic gas, pretty sure this loop will get priority, even without doing anything clever. So I just need to give it oxygen and water. Water I can get from there, and oxygen I have down here. So that keeps them working. They're very fast machines, so probably one set of beacons will be enough. So that's going to use up that, and I forgot the wastewater. Wastewater I can link up with, this wastewater here, that'll be fine. I already did do it. Why is this not running? Oh, I forgot inserters. That was kind of stupid of me. So inserters so they can actually work. Oh, hang on, I need to stop that. I almost made a mistake. So this isn't a bauxite outputs, it outputs crushed bauxite. So this was completely pointless. As was this a mistake. This was almost a bad mistake. So what I should have done is made sure this loaded up both sides of the belt like that, and then just fed it straight into the end here so it gets priority over the crushers. Next important change, going to take the sludge from the bus here, so connect up that. And with that set up, I think I want to not do this anymore. So for the time being, I'm just going to disable that, because I don't really want to just throw the sludge away. So get rid of that, and this has been really in the way for a long time anyway. So if I can just get rid of this entirely, I'll be very happy about it. So let's delete that. Wow, there's so much mess in here. I should have just built tanks, and I put this wastewater treatment right in the middle. So that's that pipe there. In fact, I've already disconnected this a while ago when I moved stuff around. I know there's still sludge from somewhere. Let's try and work out where that somewhere is. Nope, I think I disconnected that a while ago. It was probably the old aluminium setup over here. So with that, I've got this like recycling centre working quite nicely. So that's working through the mineral dust about as quickly as I'm producing it right now. So unless I want to scale up this, I don't think there's any particular need. Alright, as I run out of acid. If I actually ran out of acid, or did I just break the acid? Oh, I see, because I probably shouldn't have ran that pipe off of there like that. Let's actually bring that down there. Then I'm going to have a pump coming out of that, and then that's going to be off the pump so that the pipe gets pressurized properly. Actually, no, it probably was fine to start with. Basically, what I just realized was I put this pump here the wrong way around anyway. So that was kind of dumb of me, but this will work better anyway because now this pipe here is not quite a bit of a mess here, and it is going to be having a pump filling it up, which is what I was trying to do to start with. Check your pump directions. So I think what I'd like to do next, now I've done that bit of recycling, is get these sensor 2s so I can make the beacon 2s. Substation 1 seems to be fairly simple, but beacon 2, specifically the sensor part of it, is so much less so. So looking at this here, over here, optical cable got, processors got, sensor 1's got, lamps I can make. Actually, that's a lamp 2, I need to look at that. Ceramic pad I've got, oxygen I've got. I'm going to have to start on titanium, so that's a new thing to look at. And no idea about this lamp 2. This lamp 2 is a carbon fiber lamp. So that's going to be interesting. It looks like an intermediate product to make somewhere else. It's not even an upgrade actually. That's a nope, wrong recipe. This is the correct recipe, so this is more interesting. So actually is an upgrade, so I do need lamps. I need sodium, which I've got. Green wire I've got over here. Hard glass I can get. Ceramic powder I've got. Argon I can compress it. So problem is I need to bring over lamps, hard glass and sodium then. In fact, except for the green wire, this isn't even very much of an electronics thing. Also, I suspect this lamp run improved is a lot more efficient, so that's the thing, because I've got carbon fiber and glass down here by themselves anyway, so it's like I've already got that. And where is the carbon fiber? Carbon fiber I think just goes here somewhere. Carbon fiber's here. Glass, aluminium is probably around somewhere-ish. Oh, the belt band drive. I do actually have aluminium sheets for the batteries, so maybe I should just do that there. Green circuits is really the issue there. Maybe I don't need enough of them to like need the big production over here, and I can just sort of scrounge off of this for now. Could be an option. Or is it better to run the belt from here over here and back again? Decisions. And while I was thinking about that, recycling breaks. So I'm guessing that means that I'm producing so much sludge that actually I'm literally not mining any bauxite now. I'm just reusing all of it. So that is an interesting problem to have. Solutions, not so sure on. I think what I need to do then is have some tanks, which don't really want to fit in the space I've got available. So let's do that, and then that can be a small pump. Actually, although there was a lot of sludge, that's maybe not even the entire problem. So this pipe here, actually I don't think it connects up to the sludge on the bus. I think they were separate. Maybe they used to be connected before I dismantled the original aluminium, because I've got this pipe here. So that looks like a bit of a mistake on my part. So what I should do is reconnect these together. Then I think that will solve that problem. In fact, yeah, I can see the end of the pipe here, so this pipe just went to nowhere. So it seems I really did have a lot of sludge production, so playing around with this, I actually ended up extending this up to 6. And actually it wasn't using, so this wasn't actually producing enough that it wasn't getting the bauxite. This backed up after this got stuck. So even now I'm using up a little bit of raw bauxite, but I'm getting a lot from this. But it's still possibly not all the sludge, and because this is using a lot of acid up, even though it's doing a little bit of recycling here, I think actually I might be using up acid more than I want to, because I am starting to drain on this volcanic gas box here, tank rather. And I really don't want to have, like I said, multiple extractors. I'd rather have geothermal power on those. So might have to consider the other recipes. That's it. That seems to have fixed my chlorine sodium balance. So these tanks are now not full, which is good, and this is backed up, and the caustic solution pipe is full. So seeing as I've solved that problem, maybe what I should do is go do the iron recovery. And then find a way of balancing it so that this doesn't eat all the sulfuric acid. Maybe I could do it on like an overflow basis, so if this pipe is too full for too long, it takes it up. Could be an option. Have to have it. I don't really want to run a separate pipe all the way back to here for that. So I don't really want to run a cable either for a circuit condition. That would be equally kind of annoying. So might have to think about that and how to prioritize the sulfuric acid. I guess what I could do is if I put an auxiliary valve on there, so let's find an auxiliary valve on the green ones. So that's 25%, which is less than the pipe capacity, so that's why that works. The relief valve doesn't because the pipe's not big enough. But now when the sulfuric acid runs out, this will start dropping the pressure in this, so the pipes will be less full. But I'm not actually using a great deal of it anyway, even for this, so I don't really care about the throughput. So as the pipe drops down, this will stop letting sulfuric acid pass, but the other bits and pieces using sulfuric acid, they'll carry on working. Downside is that does mean I'll have absolutely zero buffer on the sulfuric acid, however. So when it does start slowing down, it will be because I have none around at all. As for the lamps, so I had a think about it. I think it would be beneficial to make it over here because ceramic powder, sodium, lamp ones, aluminium, carbon fibres, glass, it's all stuff that's over here or near here anyway, and it's not anywhere near at all to the other area. So this is making a lamp every second, and this is using somewhat less of a lamp every second. They both can be medium assemblers, so I can probably do them both here relatively easily. Interesting, that can be a large assembler actually, though that can't. Well, maybe I'll use a large assembler and just have more of these. So let's see what 3 of these would look like anyway. Probably actually not the most beacon friendly thing again. Maybe what I'll do is put it down here in line with this. And that's because I've got this space here anyway, so I've already committed to not having beacons on both sides, which gives me the options here for doing more stuff with belts. Also, actually, speaking of wire, I've already bought the red wire down here for making optical fibre. So I can use that to make the lamp 2s, so I can turn red wire into green wire. So what do I have here? So I think the only way I'm going to be able to get 2 belts is if I move that out the way. Like so, and I think I'm actually going to need to move this out the way too. Well, actually that needs ceramic powder anyway. Hang on, so if that needs ceramic powder, if I just move this up a few tiles, because that could just as easily go, say, here. So move that out the way a bit. I can put a splitter here and use this as a filter. Ceramic powder goes on, and now I can put something else on the other side of that belt. Possibly green wire, for example. I could probably sneak one in there. Have to see. So actually sodium's there, so I wonder if I got these pipes like completely out of the way. I just compressed argon, which is a little bit unfortunate. But if I did get that out of the way, I could put the belt for that there maybe. Because I've already, if I'm not going to put beacons there, then I do have this flexibility to do something like that. And then I can put, for example, there and there. You can do inserters like that. So that gives me it gives me 2 of the inputs. Now the other one to take a look for is hard glass. Hard glass is, I think, this, which very unfortunately goes up. Is there anything else from the top I can get? Don't think so, unless if I did lamps over here, then that could come in from the top. Yeah, that could be an option. Then that can come in. I guess it'll be easier over there, so that could go in that direction. But I've left space for inserters there, so then just need to get hard glass past all this stuff. For example, like that. Then if they were to merge there, so it could do like that, then that works quite nicely. And this needs 3 inputs, so actually probably that would be a filter. Then we'll do lamps on the filter. Lamps go off there, everything else stops. Second input there, and beacons over here. Well, I'm not going to be able to get a beacon there. I don't really want to move the turbine over a beacon, so I'm going to put the beacon there instead. Probably this machine is going to be pretty fast anyway, so I'm not going to need to have very many. I might even just have the one machine anyway. This is just a test, but I'll probably keep just the one looking at this because it's going to have pretty good crafting speed. So carbon fibers, those are over there. So if I move that again, put that there, carbon fibers, if they go on there, the side load onto that, that'll be great. So carbon fibers done. Lamps go in there. I just need the glass, which I'm going to bring. I'm not actually sure which way I'm going to bring the glass down. Glass and aluminium sheets, they're both going to come from the top. So it's going to be something in that direction. So I was able to bring the glass along, mix it with the aluminium, so one there, and then the hard glass down there. So that gives me lamps, which then goes over here and gives me the lamps on this. So I still need the green wire, which I think I'm going to put on this one, and then I'll need the compressed argon, which I can get from this. I just need to move these pipes around a bit actually. If I move this here, then that solves that problem. These pipes can go here, and I just need to make a compressor and put it somewhere. Well, first of all, green wire, that should be easy. Actually, I might be able to. So that's 5 to 4. So does that mean I can put yield on it? It does. I wonder if that's calculated so the maximum yield module you actually get 5 to 5. That'd be interesting. And compressor, I guess the compressor can just go here. I don't think the compressor can use beacons anyway. So I have a priority compressor because I want this to run even on like backup or standard power. So that goes there, and then that can get the argon from there. Make sure it has power and compressed argon. So I'm going to do 40 per second. Well, it's half, so it's going to do 20 per second. That requires 10 every 6 seconds. So I'll probably be fine with just one of those. And I've not got a huge amount of argon production anyway. And I now have lamp 2s, so they're going to come out there, and that's a nice easy output on that side. I think that I'll make the actual sensor 2s themselves over in the eastern area. Titanium is the big thing on that, and I need to bring the sensors over. So those belts were both full unfortunately, so it looks like it's a new belt then. Of course, one thing that did just occur to me is, as with oil wells, you can probably put speed on these, I suspect. So I'm going to put some beacons around here quickly just to get that started and test out that theory. Because if I can get extra production out of the same thing, that would be nice. In fact, if I look at this, I guess I could find out. So if I look at extractor, that's going to be in chemistry, I think. Extractor 1. Speed module actually does as well. So speed module straight on that too. So the big question now is where do I actually want to do titanium? So I don't need to do the titanium setup fully, but I do need to get that fluid, I think, which is ductile graphite and chlorine. Quite some mineral dust, which is a bit annoying. Now I could do it here by the original production. That would be an option. So I've got a little bit of space there, but I'd like to have that from the mall area. That's getting into electronic space. Maybe if I move this graphite here, if I just put the graphite somewhere else, could be an option. So actually this I could fit it there if I got rid of this wind turbine. But there's still, like, I'd rather reserve that space then for electronics. Like titanium could end up being big. I could come all the way over here, starting to run out of space on the map, and I would kind of like to just leave this alone so I have the power supply. Even though I didn't get around to upgrading this in, well, wind turbines have been doing really well, so I just haven't got around to upgrading it. I guess I'll put some more of those down at some point, but other than that... so, yeah, that's not really solving my problem, is it though? Where to put titanium? Kind of a very big base area as well, so in terms of free space I've got over there, I guess. Starting to get borderline, maybe I should actually build trains then though, because a train from there to there is not completely unreasonable, except there's nowhere to actually fit the track. Then I'm probably not going to use that much ruttile. One belt will probably be perfectly fine, I reckon, for ruttile. Of course, I will need to then bring graphite. Well, that's the point. Now I need to bring graphite and chlorine over and bring the titanium tetrachloride all the way back. I'm going to do a small setup here. When I make actual titanium plates and stuff, I'll do something else. But since right now I'm not making titanium plates, and even then, like, maybe the solution is convert the rot tile to titanium tetrachloride and then send that over to make ingots and stuff. Seeing if I can tidy this up. So I've got carbon monoxide hair and hair. So I can't remember what these are from, not too bothered. I'm just going to merge them together, move that pipe down, and then I'm going to have some free space here to do stuff. So that keeps that relatively clear. So how much is this actually going to need? So if it's 10 seconds, it's probably worth having some speed beacons. Well, it's also furnaces, which are terrible for beacons. Well, I could probably work with it. So if I make this just 2 tiles like that, and instead upgrade the belt itself to be faster, then I can put beacons along here, and that'll get shared with the sand, so I think that works for me. All the sand is going to be on the bottom edge. I want some of it on the top, so I'll do that. I should upgrade those as well, and then that should be fine. And of course it's got 2 outputs as well. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Kind of like to be able to share the beacons on at least one side if I can, just to make them more cost effective since they're covering more machines. But if I do that there, that doesn't fit. Furnace is the worst machine. I guess the best I could do is probably to do this. Unfortunately it makes that one line up with the beacons, so that is bad. Maybe I can build them in pairs, well that makes that line up as well. Can I avoid lining them up like that at all? Okay, that works for these ones. So if I build 2 pairs like that. So what I'm thinking then is basically take those pipes around there. Then that leaves space for a belt with 1 inserter. So this will probably have to be output. Then I think this graphite needs to just move. I could probably move it down. Yeah, let's put it down near the plastic. At least slow enough to... yeah, I probably could do a second row of beacons. So, second set of beacons. So this is going to be input for graphite and rot tile. So that means no space for those there. They need to get out my way. And I think I have actually got space to do with those though, so that's nice. So if I do those that way, which is the output I actually want. I'm going to have to do something to mineral dust in a moment. But that's the output I want. Graphite can go there, mineral, rot tile rather can go there. So that's those 2. Then the space there for inserters, and should be space somewhere for one of these. I'll just put one at either end. There you go, that works. And what was this? This was regular chlorine. So regular chlorine is down there. Oh, it's actually here. It's the input for those, so it can come across here and go into those. And definitely not the tidiest graphite I've ever done, but that should work, so that's good. Mineral dust. So I think what I want to do in mineral dust is just take one of these, and I'm going to convert it into sludge. That will get that out my way, and then the sludge, as long as I have a pipe somewhere around here, I can just shove it up into a pipe and it will make us right up there nice and easily. Avoid connecting that pipe. So carbon dioxide can go on to this carbon dioxide here, I think. So that should be fine. Then sludge I'll deal with later. Acid I've got up here for the sand processing. So just link those together. So that's going to now work. And yeah, sludge. I think I've got a pipe around here somewhere. I think I actually deleted that pipe, didn't I? That's somewhat annoying, so I'm going to have to run a fresh pipe. Oh no, there it is. It's up here. It's this one. Goes here. Did I just delete it from that point? Yep, I didn't delete it the whole way, so I still got the pipe there. So that's very convenient. Unfortunately, it just hits that wastewater slightly, so if I move it over there, it won't hit the wastewater, and then I'll be able to connect it up to this processor here. Actually, that is slightly in the way. Let's see if I can move that there. So then the output I want is this one here. Guess I'll leave this space here for doing the beacon production. So sensor 2s will be over here somewhere. Let's start over here actually. Try to leave myself a little bit of space if I can. Well, I could definitely do a mirrored one of those about now. So probably not going to be able to put beacons on both sides of this. That is just too much stuff that's kind of in the way. Also outputs clawing, that's kind of awkward. Can't even vent clawing, so I'll have to deal with it. So as far as that goes, can join them together like that, leave space for an inserter, which means I can have one belt. So I guess it'll be the output belt if I can. Try and work this out. So if I did that, I can have two belts at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no. So, okay, that has to be an input belt. No choice about that. Then I can have an input-output belt and another input belt. And all of these, I just need to get out the way. So I guess I can do what I did before, and if I underground that, then it can be a little bit more compact. But yeah, definitely not going to easily get beacons on both sides of this one. So they can go like that, which makes that a little bit more compact because it does that. Then oxygen, it doesn't really matter then because that needs to go there either way. And that can be a second pipeline there. So then I just need to connect up oxygen, connect up inputs. So one of these has to be input and output. Say this one gets the closest one. So input, output, filter. So filter for sensor 2s, so I just get the sensor 2s carrying on. And then more inputs on these ones here. Then I actually want both of these things, so that's an easy input. That can just be a simple splitter. Then what else do I want? I want those lamp 2s, which I've got over there. Accidentally contaminated the belt, so that problem sorted. So sensor 2s, sensor 1s. Well, since that's only got one thing on it, I guess, and it's on the right side, let's put that one there. That's convenient for the input and the output side. Then I want to get sensor 1s and processing nodes, processing units on the same thing. So sensors are there, circuits are up there. Guess the way to do all of those is going to be to split them and bring them straight down. Some unfortunate these ended up being on opposite sides of this construction area. So that's going to be circuits, that's going to be sensors, but nothing much I can do about that. I don't think there's an easy solution. So then they're going to come up there, go across there, and then I just need to do the fluids. So I need to get the oxygen, which should be, definitely should be oxygen down here somewhere. There's some oxygen, and I need to bring that over from there to there. And chlorine, I did have this one here for surplus chlorine from that. Looks like I actually need to expand that, although I cannot expand it there, so I have to go somewhere else to do it. But anyway, so if I link up with this source of chlorine, this is pumped into this tank, so this gets priority. So that's the way I want to do that one. Possibly the best I'm going to do is if I can get past all of this. Oh, there's a water pipe there. Well, that's very unfortunate. Okay, well, I'm going on the bottom instead then. So along here, that gets me to there. The chlorine is actually going to be there, so not the hardest thing, but I guess that works. And then this can follow this pipe, so basically they'll both go the same place anyway. So that makes that one easy. Yeah, definitely a lot more silicon production. So basically silicon production is limiting how many of those get made, which limits how many of those get made, which limits how many of those gets made, which means very, very few green circuits getting through here. But I have actually got a few sensor node 2s made, so that is a success. So if I was to take those, I can now make beacon number 2s. Now this took me a long time to get here, so I'll probably finish off making the rest of beacon 2 next time. But I got quite a good waste processing going, so happy with this recycling process. Which seems to have actually using for all the gravel, so that's quite nice. So if I actually manage to get rid of all this gravel eventually, then I'll be in a good position to start turning stone into gravel, and maybe eventually I'll actually get rid of all these boxes I've got, so that'll be nice. So that's a very good thing to have, and I have done some big steps towards getting the next set of beacons, so that's going to be nice. So more to come next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and look out for that.